Hey everybody, this is Kayla Parker. This is CJC 212 Ethics and Community Relations, and this is week 4 discussion. And this week's question is the public image of the police is complex. It has many aspects grouped under 3 general categories: overall image, perceptions of police outcomes, and perceptions of police processes. In my opinion, what does each of these mean? In my opinion, I think the overall image of the police is viewed as negatively. The main reason that I believe that is because of what the media has portrayed. You hardly ever hear about the good things that police officers do in the community. You always hear about the bad that's happened. Mainly, the main thing that's viewed the most or showed the most is cops that use excessive force and take advantage of their authority. But we don't know the whole situation. We don't know the whole story. There's other factors that we don't know about. I'm not saying that all of those choices that the cops made in those videos were right. I've seen video footage before of officers, using their authority as an advantage, and they were completely out of line. The second category is perceptions of police outcomes. When you have your own personal dealing with a police officer or a law enforcement officer, that has a lot to do with where your perception comes from. If you've had a negative experience just one time with one police officer, your whole view can be altered of law enforcement. Whether you got a ticket or not. It just depends on how they treated you, their attitude, and all that. The perceptions of police processes, many people don't know the steps or the procedures that police officers have to follow. Say, for instance, when they're making an arrest, or they're collecting evidence, or when they're doing reports, they have to make sure that they've acquired all the information that they needed. So even though you're innocent, the police don't know that. They don't know until they follow the steps and gather all the information they need. And sometimes they might ask you for a fingerprint just so they can rule you out. But most people tend to think that they're being profiled or they're being singled out. But it's all part of the procedure. Some people think that as soon as a crime is committed, then the action has to be carried out right then and there. They forget that, the investigation is an ongoing process. And unless that officer was present at the moment that the crime was committed and they saw it and witnessed it, they still, they have to follow their steps. And they can't just, when someone approaches them and say, well, John Doe committed a crime, so you need to go arrest him, they can't just jump when someone says that. If that was the case, you'd have a lot of innocent people behind bars just for unknown reasons. But they have to gather all viable information and evidence, and it takes a while for these processes to be carried out. So this is week 4 discussion, and that's it.